here in beautiful Kaikoura, catching up with a little bit of Kaikoura history, if you like. Mark Smith, firstly, thank you for joining Campbell's comments.
Good, yeah, very good.
I was lucky enough to be at Redwood Day yesterday and talking to Anton Galino, and this is a true story. Anton said if I get across there, I've got to catch up with Mark Smith and have a quick chat to him. And the first person I seen in the car park, we can honestly say, was yourself, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. There's a bit of a freak, that, yeah.
It was a bit of a freak.
Anton's been real good to us, Pat. They took me to France, and yeah, it was really good, yeah.
It's a very, very small world, isn't it?
Yeah. I know Anton and Pat pretty well, yeah.
You've got a lot of history. We might start about the track, and you're saying that your father and relatives and that pretty much built this track, got this track started?
They did, yeah. Well, their families, both sides of my family have been in trotting we were registered in 1914, and that was the first official, and we had 120 members, for the trotting club that supported us there, because it was always been Kaikoura's biggest day. They had nowhere to go. Only go to the races. It's a big day. Get all dressed up, and trotting's always been pretty big in Kaikoura, yeah.
What made them settle here? It's such an amazing setting, but it's just a strange place to have a racetrack when you think about it. Right next to the beach, right next to the main thoroughfare.
It's amazing, yeah, how we got this, how we got the land. But there used to be a big mound out the back, and my grandfather said they used to cheat a bit because they go through, they couldn't see him, so they gallop through there and settle down and catch him. But when we made the track, we made it. This was state-of-the-art track when we built it, yeah.
And it's so unique, the indoor, the feel, the vibe here on this day, it's just so special, isn't it?
Yeah. And when we first built the track, that was a lot of, they weren't going to give us permission to race here, and Lytton and great trainers down at Addington, Don Nine said, well, I'll bring Johnny Globe up, and Noble said, I'll bring Highland Kilt up, and they both come up here, and they run around here, private trials, at the race meeting, our first race meeting, to prove that the track was good enough, yeah.
So everyone got behind it?
Oh, yeah, everyone's behind it, yeah. But, yeah, well, we're still fighting the trotting club, yeah.
And everyone still gets behind it now, this day is such a big day on everyone's calendar, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it started off and, people just come, and I've got a photo here of one caravan in the centre there, and now they can see how many caravans we got there now. And it's just the way everything's changed, yeah. And you just had to we had an old fella here one time, and he sat over there in a big Jaguar car, and he sat just as you come through the gate, and he sat down there and with his, English, get the cutlery out and everything, and watched all the races there. And he was the only one there at the barbecue and that. And he said, "You want to get more people to do this, see?" So we built tables and barbecues all the way down the straight, and it got bigger and bigger, and the people bought their own barbecues, and now it's just a barbecue special out there, really, yeah.
Do you reckon, your dad and everyone else that was involved, getting it they'd be smiling now, saying, "Look at what we've achieved"?
Yeah. We had to fight, they saved money to build that building there, yeah. They when they came here, they got some old buildings from down the tunnels and used them for the administration buildings, and you know how they got going, really, yeah.
It sounds, and I think that's what's so good about this place, is it is so special because it's unique. Like you say, state-of-the-art track. It's probably a little bit flat now compared to what people, but they still come in their droves. You still get quality fields going around. The trot today is just a sensational trot.
That's right. So, as I say, she was state-of-the-art track. You take way back, and we built her, but we put clay on it, and beautiful fast track and everything. But once she rained, and she had no foundation underneath it,
It got a bit dodgy.
I had a horse run here one day and it was wet, and he decided to go right around the outside fence, yeah, and it was amazing. He'd catch him up in the straights, and they'd drop back and they'd catch him up. He won the race, yeah.
He won it?
Yeah, he won the race, yeah.
Just going for the better going.
Oh, yeah, he had the better going right out on the outside. In the clay, they would put their foot in, and then they had to suck it out, they had to pull it out, yeah.
One of the great horses in the history of Australasian racing is Lyell Creek, and yourself and the president, the Smith name, I suppose, is synonymous with Lyell Creek.
Peter, my brother, owned him, yeah, and I trained him, yeah. Him and I trained him, yeah.
I met Peter just up there before, and it must be something great to what you were able to achieve. I know in the end, the Butts raced him and took him on, but you must have been so proud of what he was able to achieve.
Well, that's right. We went all over the world following him, and people come and it's just that the story of the horse is pretty amazing. Yeah. I watched him all over I watched him race in Onslow, Sweden, and raced him in Canada and Kentucky. I seen him all the races. Yeah.
Do you miss the fact that we don't have those horses at the minute that seem to want to travel? Like back then, there was quite a few. Prior to Petite done it, Night Pistol done it. There was a lot of them that wanted to do it.
Well, I've been to the Red Mile 15 times. I don't think anyone else has been there Red Mile 15 times to the sales and looking at horses. Yeah.
Do you wish more Kiwis would travel their good horses to go over the world?
I got a Kiwi over there. I go to one of my relations in Kentucky. Yeah.
Who's that?
Oh, a fella called Tony Holmes. Yeah, he's a thoroughbred man. Yeah.
Oh, he's on the other side. We can't wrap him up, can we?
He breeds trotters. Yeah. He's bred 2 or 3. That's made the Hambletonian. Which is pretty big. Yeah.
Can I ask how young you are?
Oh, I'm 83. Yeah.
Do you still train any horses? Do you still dabble in any horses?
No, I give up because I'd be driving a horse out, and if a duck flew out off the creek and frightened the horse and knocked me over. Yeah.
So
I've seen me mates, get hurt with horses, yeah.
But you still follow them religiously?
Oh, yeah, I follow me. Peter, my brother, and he's got an iPad, and he's got a little house that lives on his own, and it's got a big screen, and he watches all over the world, with the harness link and those sort of things.
Yeah. That's great, isn't it, now, like how you can keep up with everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can see the horses race anywhere in the world. I can know the next morning, don't I? Yeah.
You didn't go to the Red Mile this year, but will you be going? Are you planning on going next year?
I'd like to. I'm supposed to go back to Pat's. Yeah, he reckoned he'd give me a job driving the water cart if I went over there.
Well, back to Ballarat. You don't get days. Anton will be watching this. You don't get days like this in Ballarat.
Oh no. Yeah, I've known Pat before he started and built. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's put a lot of money into it. Honest and yeah.
He does indeed, and he won the Derby yesterday, and he actually won with a horse, and everyone's going to say, I should know the name. It's Love You in Mari, and it meant a bit for him, but every one of their horses means something when they win them, and they got a real love of the trotter.
Yeah, well, Brian Headley and I tried to get Love You originally, see, and Brian's daughter was working for Dubois, the man that owns Love You, yeah, and he decided, him and I decided we'd try and get the semen together, see. So we first year we got it already, and it fell down on so it's another year gone by. So then we finally got it here, and they opened it here, and it's supposed to go on to Australia. And because they opened it here, it had to stay here. So I had to Love You for my mares, and Brian had to wait till the next year to get his.
You got the jump on him.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You must be wrapped with the job that Love You has done. I mean, always like Sundawn over here as well. But the dominance, they're starting to stamp themselves in the trotting world here in Australia and New Zealand, both sides. Yeah,
well, I'll do what told me that I've worked with him for a week and stayed with him every hour, and it was amazing. And he said if you get the best trotting blood you got in New Zealand, like his Mary's Idol or Lyell Creek family, and you put them to Love You, he said, 5 years' time, you have the best horse. Yeah.
He's about right, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mark, thank you. I think I could talk to you all day. The race is going to start. There's a lot of people walking past, and you weren't expecting to do an interview. But thank you very much for giving me a little bit of time and a little bit of history on what is an absolutely brilliant track and a brilliant venue. And thanks for sharing a bit of your insight.
Good. Thanks very much. Okay.